Welcome to Chai and Chat with Mohini. I'm Mohini Singh. In today's podcast, we will have a discussion with the Kelowna family. This family has found themselves at the receiving end of a blogger's nasty vitriolic comments. They've been accused of terrorism, they've been accused of murder, and of selling drugs. To tell us more, we have Prabtaj Sandher. How do you like the chai, Prabtaj?
Oh, it's fantastic. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to sit here with you, Mohini.
Thank you for being here. The chai comes to us from Samosa Place on Springfield Road. Please feel free to have some through the interview. Prabtaj, all these accusations of selling drugs, of being terrorists, of murder, is there any truth to this?
No, absolutely not.
Has your family ever been involved in terrorist activities in Punjab, India? Because he's referred to you all as Khalistanis.
Not even in the slightest way.
Why is it that you have been targeted? Why your family?
Mohini, that question comes up all the time in my head, and the only conclusion I can come up with is that we don't look maybe how the stereotypical farmer is supposed to look. People have this conception that farmers are supposed to dress a certain way, talk a certain way, behave a certain way, and I think in today's day, things have changed, and when you achieve a certain level of success, you're not necessarily going to behave that way anymore.
But your father still drives a tractor. He's still in the field. He's still a working farmer.
Yes, yeah, we all do. I do myself, but if you looked at me in the street, would you think that?
No. No, I wouldn't think anything. I just say good-looking young man.
Yeah, so naturally, for someone who's sitting in a whole different city than us, he's looking at pictures online and just making the assumption that, hey, these guys are probably drug dealers or doing something less than ethical to make a living and sustain the lifestyle.
So you know what? His blogs have also got very strong racist overtones. Do you think there's something connected there? But there are other farmers of ethnic background. It still comes back to the same question, why you?
You know what? I hate to pull the racial card, but the emails I receive from this individual on a daily basis do suggest that he doesn't like my kind. Not to say that he only targets Indo-Canadians, he also targets individuals that are of Caucasian ethnicity. But in this particular case, he's targeting all the Indo-Canadian families that we're connected to.
I was about to say that anybody in contact with you or does business with you seems to be dragged into his blog. Now, how has that impacted your family, your parents?
You know what? It makes it hard to go out. Kelowna's a very small knit community. Everybody knows everything about everyone, it feels like. And whenever you walk into a room and you meet someone that you haven't really seen in a while, you always have it in the back of your head that this person's probably read this content online and might have these questions to ask. And I always feel the need to just address it before it even comes up, to be honest.
Really, when you meet someone, you just say, "Hey, have you heard about about that nasty blogger?"
Oh yeah, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, probably 5 minutes into every conversation.
And this has been going on for years then?
Yeah, it's almost 2 years at this point.
Prabtaj, you've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal action to defend your name. Where is it at? And what happens now?
Yeah, we've made significant progress within the legal system. But that being said, it hasn't stopped him from doing what he does. At this point, I think, although there is a warrant out for his arrest, it seems that nothing can really be done. We're just helpless at this point.
So, the question does arise. Where are our federal laws? Are there no laws to protect us? I couldn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend myself. You've managed to do that. But how does an average citizen then protect themselves? Let's turn to their lawyer, Nathan Wells, who's standing by in Vancouver to answer some of these questions.
There's irreparable harm that's being caused here. This is a business and individuals that are being targeted for reasons we can't comprehend, and that is causing them actual harm. Really harm that can't be remedied other than by just stopping this defamatory material being posted and to be able to take it all down. Well, this is a fascinating time when it comes to people's ability to argue free speech in today's world of fake news and some of the media reporting that's taking place, in the United States and beyond. It's becoming more and more difficult to know the legitimacy of people's claims. Canadians value their freedom of speech. They value their ability to have differences in opinions, to have differences in expressions, and they value that. And it's enshrined in our Constitution through the Charter of Rights and Freedom. So Canadians care very deeply about that. But they also care very much about not being falsely accused of horrific things when there's no basis of truth for it. And it's this difficult balance that, not just the courts, but Canadians struggle with in deciding, well, where's that line? And how do we determine where that line is? When have we crossed it? And it's a struggle for the courts, frankly. It's a struggle to be able to meet that balance of where your freedom to be able to say what you want is now halted. Where does that...
Or impeding my life, impeding somebody else's life.
Right. So the path for that is through defamation. So through the tort of defamation, which is just it's a part of our common law, and it allows us to be able to have things like the injunction orders, like we talked about, have people held in contempt, because defamation law can be quite complicated. But ultimately, if you're spreading lies about somebody that's harming and tarnishing their reputation, that's defamatory. And that's a cause of action that we can pursue in law. I can't get into the specifics other than what's been released, in court documents. But I can say that in previous judgments, and this is published documents from another case, is that he was essentially extorting people to be able to collect money. If you give me money, I will take this down from my website. So whether or not that's his only motivation, I personally believe it's one of the motivations is to be able to try to collect some funds by essentially extorting them, by telling them they're going to keep this content up. They're going to post more defamatory and outrageous lies about them until they pay them.
Thank you, Nathan, for your point of view. We look forward to the next steps and hearing what happens next. Back to you, Prabtaj. So my question to you is, what do you think this blogger actually wants?
It seems to me that he wants to be paid.
How do you know?
I've assumed it from day one, but just recently he did reach out to somebody that we work with.
Has he put a price on what he wants?
No price was mentioned.
So why not pay him out and get this done and over with so you can go on with your life and not have this?
Well, if we pay him, what stops him from continuing to do what he's doing anyways? What stops him from going to the next person and looking for another easy payday?
So you're willing to take on this fight?
Of course, yeah.
Now this is electronic extortion. Look what we see in the Lower Mainland. It has become such a big issue. It was discussed in Parliament. So this is the next step, taking it to a whole different level. This is electronic extortion. And it is unfortunate that your family has put a lifetime of hard work to build your business, and all it takes is one person writing a blog to defame you.
Well, that's exactly it. There needs to be laws out there to protect Canadian citizens from having this happen to them. And just like you said, yes, my family's put in years and years of hard work, and to see their reputation be tarnished just like that is absolutely heartbreaking.
Anybody who has any intelligence would be able to tell that it's garbage that he's writing. But it's still salacious, it's gossipy, it's mean, and it's hurtful.
No, and that's true. It's written on WordPress. We know it doesn't hold any real weight to it. It's just unfortunate that people do feed into that gossip. people do like to forward it and give him more exposure, even knowing that it's not true. So in this situation, if the community was to come together instead and be like, hey, let's, this is not factual at all. Why are we supporting this type of behavior? We would all be in a better place.
It's unfortunate that if you can identify an IP number, address, it's unfortunate that police can't just go arrest him.
Very.
That would be it's easier said than done. Prab, I really hope the conversations like we're having today will lead to bigger discussions, societal discussions, and end up in change. I know the federal government has draft legislation. I think it's Bill C-63, where they've called it an Online Harms Act, and it's going to change the Human Rights Act. But it'll come too late for your family. Your comments to that?
You know what? I don't expect this to be done anytime soon. So whenever it gets here, hey, we're looking forward to it.
You're going to stand strong and fight this.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you found value in this discussion. If you have any ideas or suggestions that you'd like to see on our podcast, please write to us, chaiandchat@imarket.com. iMarket is imarkit.com. So until next time, cheerio.